Hey, what's up, everybody? This is day 26 of 31 Days of Favor, and I got the one and only Ryan.
I'm back.
Ryan is back with us, and we are getting ready to dive into Proverbs chapter 26. And this discussion is we're going to be talking about fools.
Don't be one.
I think there's a quote that says something like, if you was to write a play for an audience of fools, you can guarantee you're gonna have a packed house, um, because there's so many out there. And again, basically Solomon, basically is mentioning that fools are the opposite of the wise, and so whatever you are not, because of wisdom, you are a fool.
Yep.
All right, so.
Yep. I think Abraham Lincoln says, any fool can make a rule, and any fool will mind it.
Man, and these are wise guys we're talking about. Abraham Lincoln, people who were able to accomplish amazing things. You got to be wise, and I think the thing that makes a person wise, I think, in my opinion, is you can a wise person will do at once what a fool will do eventually.
That's really good.
Right? What you become a fool because you refuse to learn.
Yep.
You refuse to take instruction. You refuse to get counsel, and this is what the Proverbs consistently, just repetitively tells us over and over again: the importance of getting counsel, seeking advice, seeking instruction. So Proverbs 26 gives us like a whole bunch of different word pictures. Comparing and contrasting different pictures about what fools are and what fools are not. So let's dive into verse. Start from 1.
Sure.
All right.
As snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a flitting sparrow, like a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight.
So I just got stuck right there in verse 1. So it said, honor is not fitting for a fool. So the Bible tells us who not to honor.
Yes.
Right? And a fool is a person you're supposed to withhold honor from.
Yeah, it's the I like the word pictures that you talked about in this verse. He says, as snow in summer.
Yeah.
Like, snow is not supposed to happen in summer.
Yeah.
Rain in harvest. Nobody wants rain when it's harvest time.
Come on.
So why would I give honor to a fool?
Wow.
It's like, it's not fitted. It does not fit with the season.
Yeah.
So whatever season and time that you're doing stuff in, that honor, you have to realize that honor is not fitting for that fool, because it's a season.
Wow.
And a full season is not honor.
Yeah. If you're in a foolish season, it's not a season to be honored in.
Yeah. Like it says, foolishness is bound up in a child.
Yeah, right.
But kids always want to be respected.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I know better to respect you and give you any kind of honor, because I know you don't understand yet. Mm-hmm. And until you understand, then I can honor that.
Wow.
Right?
So literally, I think one of the things, if you want to bring someone into wisdom that's living foolish, one of the ways you do that is to actually withhold honor from them.
Yes.
Right? And I think sometimes we help people feel comfortable in their foolishness.
Yes.
And their mess.
Yes. And this,
by celebrating them.
Yes. I think it's also we're in that time of entitlement. So everybody wants to be treated equally. But the Bible is saying that, hey, we don't treat fools equally.
Wow.
Because they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And so right now we are in a generation where everybody says everybody doesn't have a profile, everybody's on social media, everybody thinks they're famous.
Wow.
But everybody can be treated like they're famous. Mm-hmm. Because if you get treated like you're famous, then you actually, there's repercussions that come with that.
Wow. So
I remember there's people who have like a YouTube star and people who become famous on YouTube, and the person that comes to mind now is in mine is Antonio Brown, football player, really great. They say he's the most talented person, the receiver that's probably ever played the game, but he's proven to be a fool. But he wants honor. He wants people to honor him, but people say, no, why am I going to honor you if you have proven to be a fool? And because you are snow in the summer, I'm not going to give it to you.
Wow.
And we give people chances. And I want to make sure that we understand this. We give people chances, but we don't give them honor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's powerful right there. And it jumps down so I think I jump into verse 5. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes.
Yes.
So even here it's showing, bringing redemption into that person's situation. Like, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he remains wise in his own eyes. So actually, to help a person avoid becoming wise in their own eyes, answer them according to their folly.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that mean? It's like, you talk about the Antonio Brown, like you said, I'm not going to respond to you based off of just your gift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to respond to you just based on because I know you're an athletic player, you're a gifted, skillful musician, or whatever it is that you may take pride in. And I think one of the things we're seeing in this generation is like a lot of people are skilled and gifted, and we think that is enough.
Yep.
But wisdom is a mark of character.
Yes. That's a good one.
It's a mark of character, not just your skill set or ability.
Yeah, that's really good. All right. I think the other thing in here that we talked about here that we really wanted to touch on too is verse 20.
Yeah.
Verse 20 talks about where there is no wood, the fire goes out. And where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. So explain to somebody what's a talebearer, because that's like not a common thing that we call it today, right?
Just a common term as a gossiper. A talebearer is somebody who spread lies or slander. All right. So basically, behind all strife, there's a talebearer, because he says where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. And so literally, a talebearer or a liar or someone who spreads bad news or spreads gossip, they're adding wood to the fire to keep strife burning.
Yeah.
Right. And so we see different aspects of fools here. So we see a fool is one who, well, a few verses prior, it talks about a fool is one who's lazy.
Yes.
Then it goes on to talks about a fool being a person who's a talebearer.
Yeah.
Someone who's spreading gossip.
One who's wise in their own eyes.
Then somebody else who's wise in their own eyes. Another example of a fool.
Yeah.
Then I think after that it gives us another one.
28, I think it is.
A liar.
Yeah.
A talebearer, a liar, fool.
Yeah.
It's all interconnected, and this again goes back to the character issue. It's a character issue. Why do people become talebearer? Like, what is in it for them by spreading, gossip and rumors about people?
That's a good question. I think one of the things that I want to jump into the next verse after that because I want to read from 21 and 22. Then we can really jump into that. So it says, "As charcoal is to burn in coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife."
Yeah.
And it tells you what the kind of person is that's a talebearer, a contentious person right there, right? And it says, "The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the innermost body." And it tells you what it is. And it tells you that these people who are actually talebearers, what their words do, and what people actually feel when somebody's telling them gossip. It feels good. It says it tastes good.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. It's like, I know, like, one of the things that I know that we have a lot of on Instagram and other things, there's a lot of these like gossip kind of like posts and stuff, gossip groups and stuff that share stuff on Instagram and talking about celebrities and different stuff like that. And people follow them. They have like hundreds and thousands. Some people have millions of followers that follows them. And we're like, why do people care so much about it? And why do people like it so much? And it's tasty. And what also I think what it means is that people who also are talebearers, and in this generation, people find a way to profit off of it. in this generation.
Yeah.
It's different back in this time when you're a talebearer, you tell somebody a secret and it get around the town.
Yeah.
But now you tell somebody a secret, get around the world.
Come on.
Right? So it's a different lens that we're dealing with now, and a different exposure that's happening in our generation. And now what happens with those people who are becoming our talebearers, they're becoming to see some on a pedestal. They become like, known for having information and being valued for certain things. Like Wendy Williams, right?
She made a whole career being a talebearer.
A whole career about it, right? Yeah. That's all she does. She's like, I heard this from this person and that person, and that's her life.
I got the tea. I'm gonna spill the tea.
Like, who got the tea? You got the tea, right? And it's just that we have in this generation.
But how much strife we've seen come out of that?
A lot.
You know, and that's actually one of the signs of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything good comes out of that. You know, I've watched the show a few times, but you know, you're kind of seeing, like, I don't know if there's a connection between the two, but you know, I believe right now certain aspects of her life she wishes that she can fix right now. And I think if you sow bad seeds, you're gonna reap
bad harvest.
Yeah. And this is why we don't want to we can be entertained by it for a moment, for a season, but
the Bible said, be careful, what you sow is what you shall reap, right? Mm-hmm. It's a law.
Yeah.
It's a law. Yeah. And this is why I think Solomon, the wisest man ever, he devoted a whole chapter to talk about this kind of stuff, and talking about how lying and cunning, deceitful people and the people that carry gossip and carry news, how they are not good. Right? But we've made a society where we've actually have esteemed those people to be higher than others.
Yeah.
That do these things, and I think it's a kind of like a eye-opening thing for us in this generation that we need to get back to, is understanding that don't give honor to fools.
Wow. So I think we could probably wrap up around there.
Yeah.
But it was a quote by William Shakespeare. He says, "A fool thinks himself to be wise, but a wise man knows himself to be a fool."
Oh, it's good.
Right? And I think one of the ways you actually can, because we all have the potential to be fooled, and a wise person knows that. A fool thinks they can't be fooled. Right?
Yes.
And that's how people get deceived.
Yeah. And this is what I think about that thing. A wise person always doubts himself. A fool never doubts himself. Like, if you're wise, you always say, I'm not sure, I think this and that, and you try to think about, if you listen to fools are always extra overconfident.
Yeah.
And,
right.
and they're always right, and they feel and they have this entitlement thing about it. I can do it, and they always try to find ways to figure out to be cunning and try to mingle their way through things, but what it ends up happening is that they end up in folly.
Yep. So the wisest thing you can do is to start by admitting the fact that you need wisdom, and a fool says I don't need it. And so you want to start right there, and this is the year in which we're going to get beyond, we're going to be one step wiser than our peers, one step wiser than the world.
Yes.
And God wants you to have the divine advantage, and
yes.
you just need wisdom to do that. All right, and so let's go after wisdom. Let's keep pressing in. Share your comments. Talk about maybe some experiences you had with a fool.
That I would want to see that. Write those comments. I'll read those.
And then we're going to pray that God will give you the wisdom to learn what to do. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, day 27, 31 days of favor.